My name is Mikey Millions, and I'm on a mission to discover, can I make enough money screwing around on the internet to buy an apartment in the slums? I don't think enough people are asking themselves this very important question, and that's why I'm making it my quest to discover an answer in the Freeloader Challenge. In the previous 10 episodes, I gathered $7,460, and here in episode 11, I'm going to show you how I accumulated $40 cash, one set of oyster shucking gloves and knives, a secret amount in sports betting winnings, and I'll explain later, $160 in Visa gift cards, 1/2 kilogram of animal feed and compostable food scraps, one commercial-grade metal detector, one women's gold-plated necklace shaped like an M, one light cargo net, $8 on PayPal, $50 in Amazon gift cards, 20 feet of neon lights, $142 in Bitcoin, and $23 of scratch-off winnings. I'm also going to implement a rating system called Dank or Wack. Since I tried tons of free money techniques that either end up being wastes of time or scams, I want to show you those too, so that you don't waste your own time on them. We have 11 things to cover, so let's have at it. The first method on the docket is taking advantage of free share promotions from investment platforms. Last episode, I showed how I got $110 in free shares by depositing to the Moomoo investing app. They were so happy to be included in the last video that they decided to sponsor this one. And based on the number of people who jumped in last time, this freeloader community collectively received just over 1,000 shares from Moomoo, so congratulations to the freeloaders. Opening an account will get you 1 free share, depositing $100 will get you another 4, and a $1,000 deposit will get you another 10, so 15 shares total and a sweepstakes entry. As for the app itself, Moomoo is a broker that allows increased access to the Chinese, Singapore, and Hong Kong stock markets, and of course you can continue to invest in the US market as usual. It's a good platform for going long or short equities and options in those East Asian markets, and with 15 free shares for a sign up and deposit, there's no reason to miss out. Besides, if you're doing this online money making thing, you should be investing your gains anyway. Only caveat is you must leave your deposit in Moomoo for 60 days before you can withdraw. You don't have to invest the deposit, you can just leave it as cash if you want to, but you must wait 60 days before you can withdraw your free shares. Although I already collected my free $110 of shares from Moomoo back when its promotion was only 10 shares, I reintroduce it now because there's a lot of room here for new people who can score some big rewards. You must use my referral in the description to get the full reward. Let me know on Discord what free shares you get. I reiterate my Dank rating on free share promotions, and right now, Moomoo has the best promotion that I'm familiar with. Next up to the plate is mining Picoin. This is allegedly a cryptocurrency that you can mine on your phone, but there are some problems here. First, Apple won't list any crypto mining apps on its app store. So this Picoin app isn't actually mining, it's just pretend mining so that you can get this alleged allocation at launch. Second, this Picoin app has been out since March 2019 and it still hasn't launched an actual coin. That's 4 times as long as it took to make Bitcoin, and we still have no Pi. Third, most of the Picoin is earned by referring other people, not by mining. While that doesn't mean it's necessarily a scam, it is an MLM tactic. And fourth, most importantly, when you click the magic button to mine Pi, you get an ad. With over 33 million users called pioneers, if we assume that 25% of them mine daily, and 50% of those people see an ad, that's over 4 million ads per day. If the CPM on those ads is $10, that's over $40,000 a day in revenue for the developers, or over $15 million a year. The developers have no reason to actually release a coin, because when they do, it's going to crash down to 1/100th of a cent within an hour of launch. As these pioneers unload, they're also going to stop mining, and once that happens, then goodbye to all that ad revenue. I gave up mining a while ago since I don't want to be part of this hustle, and I know people are going to say it's only 5 seconds a day that you're wasting, and maybe that's true, but you as a person are worth more than being someone else's ad revenue. I rate Picoin whack and recommend you spend your 5 seconds per day on another activity. Next up is the MyWorld app. This is an app that pays you to go green with some marginally eco-friendly activities. For example, eating leftovers is considered environmentalism. You occasionally win real money that you can withdraw via PayPal just for participating, and you get these in-app coins that you can either cash in for gift cards or make the developers plant trees. I really don't have the motivation for the trees, but after 5 months, I have enough MyWorld coins to win a $20 gift card whenever I want to, and maybe the $50 one. I've earned $8 in PayPal over the past 5 months on this app, which is pretty whack. But I do have enough coins that I can get a $50 gift card, and I'm holding out for the $100 one, which is not that bad. And another positive note, the devs have been actively making this app better, so it could become fruitful in the future. The gains are not high, but unlike Picoin, you do get real money and no ads, and it actually only does take a few seconds per day. I'll demonstrate it here, just don't blink or you might miss it. I'm really on the fence about if this is dank or whack, but in the end, do I look like a beggar? The answer is no.
so I'm apprehensively putting this in the Wack column since the speed of gains is so low, even if it doesn't take much effort. If you still want to give this a shot, the referral in the description will start you off with $1.
Next up is get paid to sites, things like Swagbucks, Inbox Dollars, or my favorite one, Free Cash.
You've probably seen sites like this at some point. Advertisers want to promote a product, so they just pay you to try it and hope for good conversions. I've done a bunch of these, most of them are fine, but the one that stands out is Free Cash. What makes Free Cash different is that they have a daily rewards ladder where you can get money without even doing tasks, and they do a bunch of seasonal bonuses that increase your returns. For example, they ran an event for the World Cup in which you can make free bets on games and receive cryptocurrency in rewards. I don't know anything about soccer, so I mostly just bet on the underdogs and won $89 worth of Bitcoin. Some soccer enthusiasts really crushed it and made $500 on this. That event is obviously over, but Free Cash does things like this all the time. They also did a Christmas bonus event, and they'll have another one this spring.
Of course, I also did the more traditional offers on Free Cash. By doing this free-to-play board game, I was able to make $25. And then I used Free Cash to sign up to the Virginia lottery, and for doing so, received $35. Then I won $26 on the lottery, so a gain of $61. This brought me to $164 of winnings, which I withdrew as Bitcoin. Free Cash really does stand out among the Get Paid To sites, because even if you only participate in the special events, you're still going to win something.
This one fits securely in the Dank column. The referral in the description will start you off with a bonus reward if you want to get in on this as well.
Here's a really fun one: getting free stuff on Amazon to either keep or sell.
I've been doing these Amazon item reviews for a Discord server in which vendors fully refund you to purchase their items directly from Amazon. Their goal is to boost their sales so they rank higher in certain searches. Our goal is to get free stuff.
I got a bunch of really good items for doing this. This vinyl record player that normally sells for over $100, I got it for free. Long lengths of neon lights, an oyster shucking set, this metal detector that I'll talk about in a few, a flashlight, all free. Reselling this stuff is pretty difficult because Facebook Marketplace is full of scams and eBay is pretty cumbersome. But I was able to sell this vinyl player for $40, so that's pure profit. And for the oyster shucking set, the vendor actually overpays by $4. So I got a $4 profit and I keep the item.
Most vendors will want a 5-star review before they refund you, but not all of them require that. And if the item does suck and you don't want to give it a good review, you can just send it back to Amazon for a regular refund. That server doesn't want me to post their invite here because they'll get flooded with YouTube refugees. But we talk about this server in our own Discord, so you can find it there. This is obviously very dank and also extremely enjoyable. I strongly recommend you get in on this.
Next up is metal detecting. I've seen YouTube and TikTok videos of people finding earrings, coins, rings, things like that by probing around for metal.
I was pretty skeptical about this, but I used that Amazon server I just talked about to get this free child's metal detector and poked around for some loot. I went to this storm drain runoff area and I didn't find anything except for this metal clip thing. I then went to this gravel lot where a lot of construction vehicles get parked. I found plenty of junk and old nails. The only thing remotely useful was this Allen wrench, which I guess I'll keep. My metal detecting skills are not that high, and this child-grade equipment really is not suitable for actual treasure hunting. I sent this one back to Amazon. The vendor had no problem with that and suggested this professional one instead, which I'll also get for free. I'll try this again with the regular metal detector, and if I do decide I dislike metal detecting for fun, I can still sell this thing for maybe $50. Finding treasure with a metal detector is a pretty dank hobby, but as a money-making method, it's whack.
The next line of effort is dumpster diving. I used to dumpster dive for metal that I could resell, and I recommend watching my video on that if you have regular access to recyclable metal.
But the grocery store finished their remodel and aren't throwing away perfectly good copper anymore, so I lost my scrap metal honeypot. I tried the same approach to find edible food last summer, but the high heat meant anything edible was quickly destroyed.
Now, Washington, D.C. is below freezing for most of the night, so I figured any food that's getting thrown out might actually survive. I decided to go for a walk at about 5 a.m. and give this one more shot.
I found lots of sealed up cakes, cookies, bread, lots of things you could eat if you were starving. There was also a lot of fruit and meat, and although they were frozen, the containers were ripped open, which ruined the whole thing. Although I didn't find a bunch of cans of Chef Boyardee like I hoped, I did find some bread that would be great for feeding animals, and if you're into compost, these veggies would be perfect. The only personally useful item I found was this red candle, which I know is a little ominous to traders. I actually found a few of these, but I didn't have a way to carry them, so I just took one. And I gave the bread to the fish that inhabit a pond near my house, just to complete the proof of concept. Overall, this strategy is whack. However, this could be valuable to you if you compost, or if you need to feed livestock, or if you have regular access to scrap metal.
This next one I have high hopes for. Selling your body. for science.
When I first started the Freeloader challenge, I tried to join a clinical trial in which I get paid $6,000 for them to infect me with malaria and then try to cure me with experimental drugs.
When I phrase it that way, it sounds crazy, and this decision proved controversial. Neither my wife nor my mom were too happy with this, but I was rejected from the study anyway due to a heart defect. However, I kept up with the trials and got into one that tests a new piece of equipment for collecting blood so that they can market it to diabetics.
I had a Zoom call with a researcher that wanted me to collect 3 vials of blood for him. I know that's super sketchy, but I asked what he plans on doing with it, and he said they're going to evaluate the condition of the blood samples on 3 separate dates to see how it degrades in their proprietary vials. I still have a piece of the equipment if anyone wants to reverse engineer it.
I only got a $50 Amazon gift card for participating in this, but there's going to be more clinical trials in the future with more meat to them. There's some of these trials that have overnight stays that pay upwards of $10,000, and I'm hoping I can jump in on one of those at some point.
Clinical trials have some risk, but they're definitely dank, and I look forward to doing more.
The next is something I saw on TikTok: collecting change from slot machines at the casino. According to people on the internet, people who play slot machines are an emotional group, so sometimes when they rage quit, they'll just walk away from the machine in anger and they won't cash out the remaining balance. By walking around the casino, you can scoop these leftovers.
I put it to the test at the MGM Casino at National Harbor in Maryland. In about 45 minutes of walking around, I found change in at least 24 slot machines.
People do indeed rage quit and just leave their machines with change on them. Unfortunately, most of those payouts are less than 25 cents.
I got the highest return from following Saudi guys around the high-stakes slot machines and picking up their scraps. I also watched a woman win $500 and then gamble all of it back until she rage quit with 40 cents left, which I liberated from the machine.
Although this can be enjoyable if you're already at the casino, the amount of money you make just doesn't make this worth it.
This method is whack, but it makes great TikTok content.
The next one is fun: sports betting arbitrage. As a general rule, I don't gamble, but sports betting arbitrage takes advantage of skewed odds on certain games. So by betting on both sides of a game on different sports books, you can guarantee yourself profit no matter which side wins. I have an entire video on this, and for a while I was cruising. I was making upwards of $30 a day. But then I ran into 2 problems that set me back big time.
One, both Hard Rock and DraftKings started limiting the size of my bets. When you're arbitraging, you're constantly taking the most advantageous wagers, and the books can tell right away that you're arbing. Getting my bets limited to $5 on a player prop and $20 on a money line makes it impossible to arb those books. And 2, I committed egregious user error by accidentally betting on the same winner on both apps. And that team lost by more than the spread, which caused a huge $350 loss. And coupled with getting limited on my 2 best sports books, recovering was not as easy anymore. My excuse is that I had hand, foot, and mouth disease when I placed that bet, so I was distracted, and ultimately I paid the price literally.
Luckily, I still have books that didn't limit me, so I'm able to recover most of that loss. However, ARB is kind of a pain, so I've switched over to positive EV betting, and I'll make a video on that if it works out.
I label sports betting arbitrage dank, but I caution that if your attention to detail is whack, you will not be successful. Luckily, I still have an overall gain, but that one stupid error really hurt. If you want to try this, or you're already gambling on sports anyway, I strongly recommend watching my video on this.
And last, let's come in with the anchor: focus groups. These are studies where a company wants feedback on a product or an idea. There are some people making serious money off of this, like Big Papa Lasagna on Discord is regularly making over $1,000 a month. I think his goal in January is $2,000. But I personally haven't gotten accepted into quite that many, so I made $160 across 2 focus groups. One was a study about military equipment, and the other one was about banking. If you don't mind spending an hour on Zoom talking to somebody about some product that they want to pitch, this is a great way to make some extra money.
I know some people have a hard time getting into these, but we're here to help. In our Discord, Big Papa Lasagna put a whole guide together for you that talks about how he scores so much money off of this.
I also recommend in the screener saying that you're mixed race, since we're all mixed race anyway.
My family always said that we're 100% Italian, but then I took a 23andMe test, and this looks like a map of the Umayyad Caliphate. My DNA is 25% Middle Eastern and North African. I'm mixed race, and that makes me more valuable to these screeners than a Caucasian. Focus groups are absolutely dank. I've got my referral link to user interviews in the description that will get you an extra $10 after your first focus group. And Big Papa Lasagna and the other professional neats in our Discord will get you hooked up with some serious sauce.
With 6 dank and 5 whack methods, this puts me at $442 for this episode, which is the lowest amount I've made in quite a while. The sports betting error set me back big time, because I'm usually making $300 or more, and instead I basically broke even. To get back to those $1,000 episodes, I need to either get sports betting back on track or find another method to add. Even selling some of this free stuff from Amazon would be nice, but it's a lot harder to liquidate than I predicted. And getting bogged down with 5 whack methods means I wasted a whole bunch of time that I could have been using for more lucrative activities. In total, this puts me at 7,880 for the challenge. I've still got a long way to go before I'm able to buy some ghetto-adjacent apartment, but I am working on it one day at a time. Even though the Freeloader group on Discord is flourishing, I want to remind everybody that the Freeloader challenge is a game. It's for fun. Is it nice to get some extra money? Yes. Are there things that are worth it even if you do have a full-time job? Yes. But this whole thing, this Freeloader challenge, this is not a career. If you're in need of money, the Freeloader challenge can help you fill some gaps in your budget. But do not lose sight of your primary goal, which should be to get a job with benefits and opportunities for advancement. Have fun with the Freeloader challenge, make some money, but do not get obsessed to the point where you're missing out on an actual job in order to dumpster dive and get free flashlights off of Amazon. I'll see you guys on Discord. Thanks for watching.